Hi everyone, tonight I gonna design something very fast, maybe not more than 30 or 20 minutes because I have to go back to my study, and it's been a while that I want to see if I can design something like a cowboy's hat or no. So I gonna see if I can do it or no this time. Like always I gonna start with a new sphere, but I don't know why this time it's so bad. So let's make a smooth by level. It's gonna be smooth at once, and then I'm gonna add very fast the other spheres for the ears and the other places. I'm gonna enable X-ray so I can see through the shapes. I'm gonna put it there, then I'm gonna turn it and I'm gonna make it a little more thin. I want to finish the shape of the head so I can go back to the hat faster. It's good. I'm gonna validate it, and yeah, maybe just a little longer. Yes. Then I'm gonna add another cylinder for the neck. I will not gonna do a lot for the details. I just gonna do the general shape. Okay, I'm gonna bring it down, I'm gonna turn it, I'm gonna send it a little back, and maybe I'm gonna rotate it a little. Okay, let's use move to make the bottom part a little more flat. I will not gonna join them together yet, maybe later. Now it's the time to add the spheres for the hat. First I'm gonna start with this one. I'm gonna grab the green one, so I don't know how big should it be. Oh no, it seems so big. Okay. Now I'm gonna add another cylinder, so I'm gonna have the upper part of the hat. I'm gonna use gizmo so I can move it easier. I'm gonna make it a little shorter. Then you should join this sphere to the previous one. You can join them by joining, or you can use remesh. I think I need to increase the resolution. I will not gonna do it a lot, so my iPad not gonna crash. And also this part, let's make it as smooth at once. If you use level, so you can smooth the whole shape at once. If you want to have more control, you should use the smoothing brush. But for me, I just want to see what can I make, so maybe later in another design I'm gonna spend more time. Also, let's put this edge a little up and down, make it more real, more realistic. Actually, the reason that I want to try this design is that I heard that Epic Games gonna make Red Dead Redemption free in about 10 days as a part of New Year for 2026. A lot of good memories from Arthur Morgan comes to my mind, and I wanted to see if I can design something like a basic. Later I'm gonna make a design full details if I can. It is obvious that I don't know what I'm doing. I try to make it a little more better by using a smooth, and let's join them together. Which one was which one? This one is the lower one, this is the neck, this is the face, this is, where is that? This, okay, these two, they are the hats. I'm gonna select both of them. For here, I'm just gonna join them together. You know, when you use join like that, from that part, the edge is gonna be You can see they are not really joining together. Let's add another sphere for the nose. Use X-ray so I can see it easier. This design is getting so messy. Let's change the names. This one is nose. This one is hat. Rename hat. And neck. Now it's the time to work on the face. I'm gonna add some spheres for the eyes. I'm gonna use X-ray so I can use gizmo easier. I'm gonna rotate the camera, make them a little more smooth. I'm trying to find a good place for them. But there is a problem. You can see the face is round. Setting eyes is not very easy. You have to rotate it a little, but I think I'm gonna have a problem. You see, it's usually better if before you do that, you're gonna make the area for the eyes a little flat. I don't know what I don't do that. I want to see if I can do it like this. I'm gonna make it a little longer, maybe more thick. I don't like it. Anyway, it's gonna be a very fast design. I don't have time, so I'm gonna use select mask. I'm gonna do this to make eyelids. Use the invert, and then I'm gonna make the whole part a little bigger. No, not this one. Not this one. This one. Yeah, the edge is so messy. Before masking, I should have increased the resolution, but it's too late. What's gonna happen if I do it now? Can I make it correct? Let's use the smooth brush to see if I can do it from here. To be honest, I have to return. I have to undo, but no. Let's see what can happen. What can I do? Maybe it is better if I leave it for this like that, for now at least. Now I'm gonna use another sphere to make the hairs. For making hairs you have so many options, but first let's put the camera in the correct situation. Then I'm gonna add another sphere, and then I'm gonna play with that sphere. I'm gonna make it a little bigger. Use X-ray, make it a little bigger, put it back. There are so many ways, but I want to see if I can use this method. I'm gonna use clay. I'm gonna select sub. It seems that I'm gonna remove the hair from the places that it shouldn't be. And then I'm gonna increase the resolution. I'm gonna use other brush. I'm gonna add a little more here near the ears. Let's increase the resolution. It's not gonna be so full of pixels. See if smoothing can help us. I think I need to add a little more downside. If you turn symmetry off, you're gonna have more natural shape, but for now I don't care. I just want to have the whole shape something so general. I think also that I should work on the neck, but maybe later. I think also the place for the eyes is wrong, but leave it. So let's paint the face a little so we can see what we are doing. Also the neck. I don't know why I don't join them together. Also the ears and the nose. Rear nose. Select the eyes. I cannot. Usually you have to join them together, but no. For the hair, let's. Okay. I want them to be a little shiny. It's gonna be look like a plastic, plastic toys. Let's do something about these holes. You can use move. Let's see the other side if it's no. Here also another problem. Also I have to select both spheres and use a remesh, but I don't. Let's paint this part a little white. I'm doing this, but to be honest, you shouldn't do this method. You should use the trim or a split to make the eyes and eyelids separated from each other. But here I don't want. I just want to work a little more on the hat. I was here to enjoy, not to get annoyed. It's a time to add some pattern textures. I'm gonna use a stamp, and then I'm gonna use a alpha pattern here, something a little near to the fabric. I don't know which one gonna be better. I'm gonna choose one, and then okay, let's decrease the intensity. Okay, for here I just need to repeat this. It's the time to paint it. I'm gonna choose something like a light brown. It's gonna be something like leather, I think. Now I want to make something like some facial hair. It's so messy. The brush should be smaller, I think. Let's see if it is. No. Why? Okay, I don't know. Let's go back and design it again. I want to have a more sharp edge, so I'm gonna rotate it, and I'm gonna see it from the different views. Later I'm gonna use a stamp to give it more texture. Also for the eyebrows, you shouldn't use the clay lot like what I'm going to do now, but I just want to see what is the fastest way. Usually I add another something like cylinder or use the path, but check that mark so your strokes gonna have a painting. I'm gonna make eyebrows like this. It's gonna be faster also for the eyes. No, let's, you know, because they are in the, let's see what's gonna happen. If you see at one of them is okay, but when you see both eyes at the same time, it seems that there is a problem with the eyes of this guy. Let's make the whole eyes black and then put some white dots like the light reflections. As I work on the eyes more, it's become worse and worse, but I don't have a mood to go back and split the sphere to make eyes and eyelids two separated things. I'm more stubborn today. I wanted to enjoy, but it's becoming a little annoying. I have to go back to study. Studying is more annoying than this, so I'm gonna spend a little more time on wasting my time like this. Many people said that you should add light at the end, but I like to add it in the middle of the designing, mostly because I don't want to listen to them. I know they are better than me, they are more professional, but I'm not a perfect person. I have some problems. I'm gonna use a trace to make the mouse. Maybe I can also give some texture to the face. I need to increase the resolution. I should remind the size of the whole project. It shouldn't be so much or the nomad gonna crash. It's a thing that I should have done it at the beginning. Now I'm going to yes. Now I'm going to make the area near the eyes more flat. I should have done it at the beginning, but yeah. Still, I have a problem with the eyes. They are so annoying. I'm happy about the hat, but I think this person is the worst thing that I have ever designed on Nomad. I just learning what I shouldn't do the next times. And I'm gonna use alpha patterns to find something like a hair. I suggest you before you start learning Nomad, go and search for a lot of alpha patterns. There are so many sites in the internet, you can find them easy. They're gonna save a lot of time for you. Usually it's better if you decrease the intensity. Again, it is not so good. I don't know why today nothing is so good, but let's finish it. Let's play a little more on the hat, add some details, change the color in some spots. Maybe I'm gonna make it look like an old hat or add some patterns, I don't know. Let's just give it something like shadow. The texture is also doesn't feel so good, but maybe I need to add something like a belt for the hat. You know, let's see if I wanted to do it something like a, you know, a snake's pattern, but no. Let's add another cylinder as a, and I'm gonna make it. What is this? I don't know what is this. Let's use here. What was that? I don't know. I'm gonna use this one, make it smaller with gizmo, check if the size is correct from everywhere. I'm gonna make a belt for the hat by this one. Okay, now let's see if we can change the background. Where was that? Let's also enable this one. Okay, let's play with the light, with the shadow, with the background. Where was the background? Here. Okay, I'm gonna play it a little with the, make it blurry. Let's choose something else. Maybe this one is more look like a cowboy's environment. It is too blurry. Let's make it a little more clear and make it a little darker. You know, it's not look like Arthur Morgan at all, not even Woody. The hair is a little look like Woody, but from Toy Story. Let's add some patterns. Also add some patterns to the skin of the face and the ears, make them a little better, maybe, because I'm not happy with everything about this person. About the hat, I can say that yes, I'm happy. I could make it much better, I could make another one much better, but there's no time. I'm gonna be okay with this one. Let's add some patterns also to the nose, to the other places. I don't feel that it is work. I cannot see so many. Let's choose another one. Make it bigger so you can maybe see the texture. Let's add some, a little more red area to the nose, ear, also maybe near the eyes. Maybe I can go something like orange or brown for the eyes. No, but okay, who cares? Adding some dots to the skin. No, the symmetry should be the symmetry. I should off it. Okay. I don't like when the face is, so symmetry. I want something more natural. Let's add also some scars here. I'm gonna use grace to make some scars. Maybe here, maybe near the, no, the mouse is getting worse. For the eyebrows, again, no. if I had added eyebrows by using tube, or I don't know, the other thing pass, the result was much better. But because I just use clay on the face, I cannot do it. Also, I don't have a mood to add eyelash, so I just gonna see if I can add them like this. The eyes are the worst part for this character. Maybe it's better if I, use not metallic color for the most of the eyes. To be honest, I have no idea. I'm just gonna try and I'm gonna see which one gives me a better feeling. You can increase the speed. Okay, let's go back to the nose. The eyes are getting me crazy, making me crazy. I don't like eyebrows, they are so blurry to me. I think maybe let's see if I can do it once more. Make it a little more sharp. And because I'm using clay, by default I'm gonna add more layers here, so it is 3D by default. But because symmetry is off, no, it's not good. The tail shouldn't be so big like that. Here, not bad actually. I learn it maybe sometimes. Maybe okay. Let's see if I can make mustache also with this method. I don't know how it's gonna be, but let's see. It's good, but let's make, add some more. Maybe it's gonna destroy the whole design, but who cares? We are here to learn. And it's not something amazing that I'm gonna be so worried I'm destroying this. No. Now let's add some metal part, maybe gold to this belt. I'm gonna choose gold from here. I choose the clay brush, so I'm gonna add some texture. Good. And then I'm gonna turn it off the symmetry to make this one. Let's add something more to the face. Maybe I'm gonna change the color. Let's see what color should I do it. Some wrinkles. And maybe I'm gonna add something like a blood to this scar. Maybe something a little more metallic, so it's gonna shine. Let's see what we can add. I don't know. I don't know, it's not something that I really like to continue working on it. Maybe I'm gonna work a little more for the scar. I'm gonna also change the color near the eyes a little more. Maybe I'm gonna make the cheeks a little more also red. It is too much, but leave it. Let's add some more texture to this face. I don't know which one gonna be better, so I'm gonna try a couple of them. I'm gonna use a big one, also for the eyes, nose, also for the necks I should do it. And let's increase the resolution, so make it smooth. So now the texture gonna set better. Still I have a problem with the eyes. Maybe I have to... Oh, it's worse from what I was thinking. So I will never gonna use this method again, but let's... now they are linked together. They are under mirror. Let me... No, what is this? I wanted to add something to the eyebrows. Because the eyes are under the same, repetition or something like that. Maybe it's better if I make them separated again. But let's first do something here. For the... Yes, I think it's more 3D right now. Also for the nose, for the ears. Let's work a little more on the scar. Let's something like a bandage. Let's make it... it doesn't have a color because I didn't choose. I choose crease. Crease doesn't have a color, I think. Let's add something like a shirt. I'm gonna add another sphere, and then I'm gonna use gizmo to bring it down. I'm gonna rotate the camera. I'm gonna put it there. I'm gonna make it a little less puffy. I'm gonna make it a little more thin. Maybe this person has some fat on the belly. The back is not so good. The front is better. Let's increase the resolution. Then we're gonna use smooth, so it's better than before. I know it's not look like Arthur Morgan at all, but let's make the shirt blue. I have to add some details to the shirt, but I'm so tired. I think it's becoming more than 30 minutes that I'm working on that. I have to go back to study, so I just gonna do something shitty to this person. That's enough. Let's add some textures for the shirt. Maybe I gonna make it a little dirty. I gonna add a little dark blue. Better than nothing. Also, I need to do the same thing, I think, to the hat later to make it a little more dirty, or some old, I gonna use move to make it a little, bring it down, bring it up. Maybe I need to increase the resolution so the patterns on the stamp gonna work better. Let's add some, a little darker color to the bottom. It's gonna be, well, let's see the big ones. Okay, here and down. Let's add a little, I'm not satisfied. More color. Maybe I'm gonna play with the light. I'm gonna play with the, the intensity, the side, how much shadow. Maybe I'm gonna bring it down, or I'm gonna add another light. It still doesn't seems good, but yeah. Maybe no. Maybe I'm gonna turn it, move it to the left or right, so I'm gonna have this shadow like that. Okay, now let's make the eyes separated. I'm gonna bring it out of the mirror. Let's see now. No, let's go back once. Let's see. Where is it? I want to make a clone of. Where is it was here. I cannot find it. Yeah. I studied so much that I lose my mind. Here. Here. Okay, I clone it. I was searching for what. Okay, I clone it, and then I'm gonna use Gizmo to bring it here. Actually, it's become better a little, Maybe later I'm gonna work more on the skin or the hair, so, but for now it's okay. For 30 minutes, not bad. Okay, let's move it a little better. Okay, that's enough. Let's go back to the study.